right, welcome to another episode of Lions Avenue. As the news just broke approximately an hour and a half ago, our Lions did sign longtime veteran Kevin Zeitler, fresh off the Baltimore Ravens, also played for the Cincinnati Bengals. Most recently, prior to playing for the Ravens, he was a New York Giant for a few years. Veteran depth, leadership for damn sure. This was a team that lost Jonah Jackson last week to the LA Rams. So, you had to get some sort of substitute, some sort of replacement in there. And Zeitler for the money, for the 1 year. Well, we don't know what the hell the money is, but I'm pretty sure where he's sitting right now, veteran-wise, at this time, point in his career, isn't much. And we all know Brad Holmes isn't going to pay much. So, veteran Kevin Zeitler, penciled in. You said as far as right now already the roster's updated. He's ahead of Kobe Sourcedahl. Um, I'm pretty sure most of us expect Sourcedahl to play some major role this season.
Yeah.
He kind of got his feet wet last year. We expect him to play a way bigger role this season. But not knowing how much the money is, what are your thoughts right now on Zeitler coming over here?
Yeah, I don't think it's nothing like to be like, man, they invested years or millions or this is a move that's not going to set us back at all. I like the 1 year deal, Walt. It shouldn't stop us, shouldn't stop Brad, shouldn't stop this franchise from, drafting another guy. I think that's still on the table too. I think as we broke it down during the pre-show, I think it's absolutely paramount that we add another lineman. Connor, we look at it, Connor Galvin as a guy, we unsigned rookie, been on the roster last couple years. Kobe Sourcedahl, who plays spot duty, definitely is worth another look. I mean, to me, I like Kobe Sourcedahl, like his size, looked apart. He had a couple Olay moments last year, but I think that's something that can be coached, that can be worked on. When you look at now, we need stability. Jonah Jackson did provide that, even though he did have a little bit of injury bug last year. Jared Goff, I think the more he trusts offensive line, the more effective he'll be. And I think people really need to realize that. And when you get into draft picks, offensive lineman definitely is on the table at 29 right now. Unless they trade up to get a guy that they really want on the night of the draft. I really do, Walt. I think that, you look at it, we got stability here, offensive line. You look at Taylor Decker. You look at Graham Glasgow now coming back. You look at Big Frank in the middle, Zeitler, Penei Sewell. There's not much youth on that offensive line, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though I like the sign and I think that this is good for 1 year. Listen, you can't go wrong by that. I mean, I wouldn't have gave him 3 or 4 years. I don't think right now we're year to year, man. You know what I'm saying? You have to keep the offensive line tight unit. I think this offensive line, this team is going to go as the offensive line goes, and as obviously Jared Goff goes. And I think Jared Goff will be way more comfortable with a veteran offensive line than two rookies out there, or a rookie out there in a key spot. You know what I'm saying? Unless he a dog, unless he a Jackson Powers Johnson. I keep using him because that's the guy I want. You might get into a Zach Frazier from West Virginia, another guy like wrestling. He was a wrestling background in high school and stuff like that. Tyler Guyton is another guy, more of a project from Oklahoma. But you could still get one of those guys and sign Zeitler. And like I said, no harm, no foul, Walt. I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you might have some other thoughts. You know what I mean? You might be cool with it too. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think, Lions fans should panic and say, oh, my God, we're not going to draft offensive linemen now because we signed, 34-year-old Kevin Zeitler, who might be, just a stopgap until the next guy's ready.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting way to look at it. I don't disagree with it at all. I think this is a situation where as quickly as you can put together an offensive line and they can be highly successful, that offensive line can fall apart just like that. And if you look at our offensive line for what it is, Frank Ragnow, hell of a player, probably maybe borderline future Hall of Famer. I don't know how the NFL views him, how they view the Detroit Lions organization for that matter. But Frank, since he's been in the league, has been one of the 5 best centers, maybe 3 best centers in all of football. Just being honest about it. But the elephant in the room is Frank's health. So I think that's something that has to be concerned. Taylor Decker getting a little long in the tooth, but not necessarily. Taylor's still at a pretty decent age. You can pretty much play tackle for a good 36, 37, maybe older, depending on how well you maintain your health. You look at a guy like not Tyrod Taylor, but Tyron Smith, who just left Dallas after spending his entire career in Dallas and signed with the New York Jets. So, like I said, getting back to that, you look at Taylor Decker, he's had some injury issues, his career. Things could be up in the air for him after this season. Source late round pick. Still don't know exactly what you can hardcore depend on when it comes to him. Zeitler, longtime vet, 30 plus years old, 1 year deal. Glasgow, dependable vet, 1 year deal. So I agree with you 1000%. I think this is a time where offensive line could be on the table, should be on the table at 29. I'm just not so sure, and we'll get into the draft a little later on in the show. I'm just not so sure if you want to push it at that spot because there's about 3 or 4 teams ahead of us, including the Miami Dolphins and the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Just 3 teams I can think of off the top of my head who are all going to be in the market for a center. Probably Jackson Powers Johnson. All 3 of those teams too, except for the Bears for that matter. But the other 2 teams probably later on in the first round where it will probably be a little bit more acceptable to draft a center. Those teams could possibly do it. The Vikings had the 23rd pick right now. They need a center. They need interior offensive line help. Could they take a guy like Jackson Powers Johnson at 23? It's possible. The Miami Dolphins, as I mentioned. So outside of Powers Johnson, I'm not so sure if there's another guard I would really take that high.
Yeah.
Or
I agree.
interior offensive lineman I would necessarily take that high.
Yeah.
29, even though 29 may not sound high, but still kind of is. Bless you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I'm not as excited about the Zeitler pickup as some Lions fans are. I view it for what it is. It's another stopgap. And if Brad Holmes hasn't proven anything else to us in free agency, as he has over the past 2 years, 3 years for that matter, this is a guy who does not view free agency as a tool to just completely fix his team. He wants his pinnacle players, he wants his pillar players, his cornerstone players to come from the NFL draft. He stated that numerous times. So a guy like Zeitler, could he have paid Robert Hunt from the Miami Dolphins? He could have. But Hunt got way above market value. And I don't think he was in the Brad Holmes was in the market of paying guys high above market value. So Robert Hunt was kind of a pipe dream for me. I already knew with the way interior offensive line played this past season was terrible for a lot of teams in the NFL. So I knew guards were going to get overpaid. I just knew guards were going to get overpaid this offseason. Robert Hunt, hell of a player. I just knew that they weren't going to shell out the money that he got eventually. But I think did Jacksonville sign Robert Hunt? I forgot exactly who signed Robert Hunt though. But he got a bag. He got a bag for sure.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at some of the other transactions so far. Let's start with Carlton Davis. Now, this was one of the more polarizing pickups aside from Marcus Davenport. But Carlton Davis, a guy, high draft pick coming out of college, went to Auburn. Physical corner, tall, long, athletic, kind of reaching that point in his career where, you moved on from your very first team that drafted you. They've moved on from a lot of guys in that secondary. Sean Murphy Bunting from a year ago. Yeah. We don't know what they're going to do with Antoine Whitfield. I'm not even sure if they re-signed Antoine Whitfield Jr. yet. But Jamel Dean, as far as corner-wise, is the remaining lone wolf in that cornerback room over there. They got rid of everybody else. So I'm not sure what to really expect from him. Because I kind of view him, even though he hasn't been hurt a whole lot, I kind of view this signing with every other signing. It's hard for me as a fan to really get behind signings where they're all injured players. I don't understand how fans can be so rock solid behind this guy's going to be a great pickup, and this guy's going to be a great pickup, and this guy's going to be a great pickup when these dudes are hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Davenport damn near was Mr. Potato Head a year ago. Like they were just pulling parts off of him and just replacing stuff. And you got Lions fans just bragging about how great of a player he's going to be. You have no damn proof of it.
Mm-hmm.
Emmanuel Mosley got $5 million last year to do nothing. And you got fans talking about how great he's going to be. He's going to be a lockdown corner. Mm-hmm. He wasn't even a starter for Frisco. Mm-hmm. Carlton Davis is going to be a lockdown number one corner for us. He wasn't a not lockdown number one corner for Tampa. If he was, he would be there over Jamel Dean. So it's just, I'm cool with all these signings. I want to clarify this. I'm fine with all of these signings, even the Davenport signing. It doesn't do any harm. I just can't overblow these signings because they're signings that make us better. Don't get me wrong. They're depth signings. But the cornerstone players, the difference makers, fans wanted Josh Allen from Jacksonville. Fans wanted Danielle Hunter. And, people are kind of coming down hard on Brad Holmes saying he dropped the ball. He didn't get this guy. He didn't get that guy. Take a guy like Danielle Hunter, for example. Who's to say Brad Holmes didn't make him an offer? Danielle clarified it completely from the beginning. He wanted to be closer to home. Yeah, that man wanted to go back to Texas. There was nothing you could do. If a guy doesn't want to come to your city, if a guy has his heart set on going back and playing at home, there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. And it happened to us with a lot of guys. But what's your thoughts on the Carlton Davis signing? Because I think you and I both agree he immediately becomes the best corner in our at least the best man corner.
Yeah. And that's not saying much. That shows you how much of a weakness it was. You know what I'm saying? And I think, at times, we got exposed. You know what I'm saying? At times we masked our deficiencies by like sending more pressure, unusual unusual packages, having, 6 defensive backs in there. For me, well, I just view it as free agency, man. Like you said,
broken tubing.
Yeah,
I mean, interrupt you. What's up, man? What's up, Ken?
That's our guy, Ken, and broken tubing, our guys. But yeah, I don't view free agency as like build a bear, like build your team. You know what I mean? I mean, it's free agency, bro. Like you said. Sauce Gardner will never hit free agency. Jeffrey Seven, Quentin Williams, these guys that we want, they're never gonna. You got to draft those guys, man. You know what I'm saying?
Dreams.
You know what I'm saying? You'll never get a high profile guy. Yeah, it's one or two. Like Chris Jones was the big prize, obviously. Kristen Wilkins. Okay, yeah, I get it, but
elite level top 3, top 4 at their position players typically.
They're not hitting free agency.
Quality franchises aren't in the business of letting quality players go. That man was not leaving Kansas City. I think we all knew that.
Yeah, but look, like you said, you see how fast like the deal got done. You know what I'm saying? Within 2 days of free, that deal was done, bro. It was over. So, Kristen Wilkins, he went within 1 day. Only thing I can say this, and I was kind of telling you, I wanted Brian Burns, and I for me, I think Brian Burns would have been like first round, like trade a first round pick to me. I mean, that's the guy that would put our defense over the top. That's for me. Like not signing Carlton Davis and just giving up a first round pick, get Brian Burns, and then you ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And then draft from the second round on. Just give up a first round pick for him. For me, I think he's that good. That was really the only one I was kind of upset about because I'm like, man, that's the guy we need for our team. He's perfect. But it didn't happen. But I think in this draft, you got 4 or 5 guys, man, that can fill that spot. You know what I'm saying? Now that free agency
Jared Verse.
Yeah, yep.
Came from the same school as Brian Burns, Florida State.
Yeah, I mean, and like he just said, and he's right. You build your team, plug holes. You build your team through the draft. You plug holes in free agency. You know what I'm saying? And I
E,
think
what's up?
they've done that. What's up, E? Mick Robertson, excuse me, from the Raiders. I think that was a decent pickup, man. I mean, I'm not saying that he's going to be a Pro Bowler either, but we need kind of guys like, okay, Jerry Jacobs filled the role, right? He filled the role while he was here, and then you seen later on in the season he got exposed. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, cornerback is an issue. You know what I'm saying? We replaced basically two guys with two new guys, right? So I would assume that our cornerback room is better, but that's not going to stop me from drafting a young guy. You know what I'm saying? A young guy that maybe come in and be the best guy to all of them. You know what I'm saying, Walt? If you go from this cornerback class from Nate Wiggins to Cooper DeJean from oh
Quinshawn
man.
Mitchell.
Yeah, Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo. I mean, man, it's 5 or 6 guys. Again, this and we talked about it, Walt. Right now we talking about the signings, but I'm just gonna say this: like draft wise, we still don't know. I mean, it's all up in the air what Brad Holmes gonna do. I mean, last year he showed that taking Jameer Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Sam Laporta, like you added 3 of the top 34 picks, and we didn't know which way it was gonna go, right? Because of free agency, because of who we had on the roster. And we remember we signed Dave Montgomery, but then people thought the running back room was set, and then we drafted Jameer Gibbs. You know what I'm saying? And then it kind of made sense. Like, damn, you know what I mean? He filled the route, you know what I'm saying? Filled a hole, and then drafted a guy, with some more upside, more pop, more, everything. So yeah, I think that Broderick Martin can maybe help out with the DJ Reader. I mean, I know you probably want to go into DJ Reader next. He's a guy I was really high on DJ Reader. He was on my to-do list for free agents after he's like the second tier defensive lineman that's out there. Obviously he's not a top,
I think he was definitely one of the 2 or 3 best run stoppers, for
yeah,
damn sure. And I think if it wasn't for the injury,
yeah,
Cincinnati may have brought him back. If it
yeah.
wasn't for the injury, the health issues, if he was healthy, he would have been off the board quick. Though I think a lot earlier in free agency.
Yeah. And I agree. And I see if people just look back, I mean, he's been a starter since 2017, man. You know what I'm saying? And he let me
Oh
see.
man,
I counted. He missed 3 games that year. He missed 1. He missed 4. He missed 7 in 2022, and then he missed 3 last year. I mean, he's missed some games, but I mean, I don't think that's saying a guy sucks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like
no, nobody says he sucks. I just think it makes sense. I think we made a big deal about interior pass rush all season, so
yeah,
I think a lot of fans are like, well, you know what? That's not what DJ Reader's cup of tea is. But at the end of the day, before you fix that interior pass rush, you want to make sure you continue to be dominant against the run.
yeah,
I think that's first and foremost. Interior
yeah,
pass rush, everybody wants interior pass rush. But if this defense is going to stay trending up the way it did coming back from the terrible 21, 22 seasons that they had, you want to make sure that you at least stay stout against the run.
yeah,
Benito Jones is gone. Isaiah Buggs is gone.
yeah,
Now, as much as Lions fans around here thought those dudes sucked or was wishy-washy, iffy players or not, those are 2 big dudes in the middle of your defensive line. So getting another run stopper made perfect sense with DJ
yeah,
Reader.
yeah,
And then, not knowing what Broderick Martin is, and I think they asked him, was he going to play that sort of
yeah,
mentor role for Broderick Martin? But this is up to Broderick Martin, too. You only going to be as good as you want to be.
yeah,
We seen what happened with Levi and Wuzarike. We think he's going to be gone. If you can't stay on the field, and then when you do get on the field, if you can't maximize the snaps that you do get in the NFL, you will lose a job real quick.
Yeah.
The league ain't fair at all.
Yeah. And to me, I look at DJ Reader as 6'3", 327. You know what I'm saying? I mean, light on his feet.
Nose.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He like real super light on his feet. He not like a short pudgy guy like Bugs was like a good run stopper, but he's kind of short. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this guy can kind of see over the top, and kind of make a move and not going to be, on blocks. I mean, he's a guy that can play. I mean, he'll be 30 in July. I think July 1st. I think I read that right. I think he'll be 30 years old coming up in July. So he still got some football left. Listen, Lions fans, only 2 years. You know what I mean? 27 mil, 2 years. It's not like, again, you mortgage in the future to get him because you can still draft, whoever comes our way in this draft. But I think with him, McNeil, man, that's pretty good. Josh Pascal at times, you can use Pascal. Anzarike, like you said, maybe the odd man out now. I think the spotlight is on him to, perform and maybe, turn the tide for his career coming up in this offseason and preseason coming up in the summer. So, yeah, I think Leva 91 got a big, it's out there for him. You know what I mean? So he could be the odd man out, depending on who we draft. But I like the thought of having Reader and then Lee McNeil, man. McNeil, my guy. So to have him, I mean, they already like hyping each other up already. I mean, I know it's only social media and people talk, and I don't think that translates to any. There's no bearing on if you can play football or not if you post in tweets and Instagram, but it almost seemed like they welcoming this guy with open arms. I like that. McNeil already like, yeah, we're gonna be a problem, stuff like that. It's good to see because maybe you get a guy, players don't want him around, stuff like that. It holds big. It might be a welcome sight for Aiden Hutchinson. You know what I'm saying? Even though, we all think that maybe they need more than Marcus Davenport. I don't know, man. Marcus Davenport, James Houston. I don't know if that's the answer. I mean, I don't want to down these guys or say they're not any good, but I need to see Marcus Davenport do it. I haven't, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, he has got to show me. I've seen him at times as a casual football fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? The average guy who watches football like we do and all of our fans do, they know who Marcus Davenport is. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if he's like the answer or not. You know what I'm saying? Is that I just hope that Brad Holmes doesn't say like, well, we got our edge rusher the other side of Aiden Hutchinson and shit. We gonna go another route in the draft. We gonna get the guy fifth round from William and Mary. This guy is a project, and we know
Kobe sourced it off.
Yeah, what's my man? Nah, I do like my man from Western. I keep bringing him up.
Marshawn
Nealon,
yeah.
That's my guy, man. I hope you can parlay Davenport into somebody like that. Late in the draft, I'm cool with it, but I'll be damned if you say we ain't gonna try to get Jared Verse or we not gonna draft Chris Braswell or my guy off the Edgerrin Cooper. I'll be damned if you don't take one of them guys because you got Marcus. Then I'll be pissed. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tired of the reclamation pride. Am I wrong here by saying that? I mean, I'm not saying a guy don't deserve a second, third chance at his career. I'm not saying that, but man, I want a sure thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Houston, Texas look damn good right now. You know what I'm saying? They look like a team that's ready to kick the door in, man. We talked about the Giants. I mean, the Giants got a really good, getting Brian Burr, Dexter Lawrence, Thibodeau. That look damn.
Thibodeau.
That's
they
imposing.
Took, what's my man name? The corner from Deontay Banks, the corner from Maryland a year ago.
Oh yeah. They yeah. I like the Giants what they doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Defensively, and that's what I want to impose because think about it. Well, our and I like the Reader signing because of Josh Jacobs going to Green Bay. We a run stop, even though Josh Jacobs don't make me shudder in my boots anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he It's like DeAndre Swift. He went to Chicago. I'm not worried about them. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that those guys are like difference makers like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're good players, but I think that getting a run stopper like we did, I think kind of hell serve. You got to remember I said you got to be better than the other teams in your division. That's number one. You know what I'm saying? And I think getting Reader, Carlton Davis remain to be. I think Reader more of a sure thing, even off an injury. I would say he more of a sure thing to me than Carlton Davis. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Carlton Davis. I seen some tape today. Walt, I was watching C.J. Stroud, and they played Tampa, and Carlton Davis got eviscerated, dude.
Yeah.
I think Nico Collins eviscerated Carlton Davis. And it didn't look good, but it was one play. It's one play, and I've seen Carlton Davis win a lot of battles. But
it was now to his credit, it wasn't just him. You talking about Nico, Tank Dell,
man,
Noah Brown, them Texas receivers were cutting loose. Yeah,
Houston is. Man,
listen, Carlton's a good player, man. I just can't oversell it. The same way you mentioned, the Josh Jacobs, sign, even though Josh Jacobs is considered probably a bigger signing name-wise than all the guys that we signed, but I kind of feel the same way about our signings. Like I can't almost every fan base is kind of like completely overselling everybody their organization got. The guys we got, do they make us better? Yes. Do they add depth? Yes. Are they big-time needle-moving players? No. And I think there has to be some kind of common ground with it. And with most fan bases, not just us, you got 31 other fan bases around the league. Most fan bases are at one end of the pendulum. They either think every single move that GM makes is brilliant, or they think every single move that GM makes is bad. And it's hard to kind of like get a fan base to kind of sit right there in the middle and be objective about these signings.
Yeah.
Not just us. I view every team around the league the same way. Every signing can't be great. You got to be somewhat objective about what your GM is doing. You can't just be a lemming and just say everything your GM does is great. It's like even with the Carlton Davis signing, I distinctly remember in the playoffs, and before the Tampa game we played in the regular season, Lions fans were trashing Carlton Davis. Now all of a sudden, since he putting on the Honolulu Blue, he's the best thing since sliced bread. Like fans got to find some sort of common ground with this, man.
But look, like you said, go to E's comment. I think E was right. He hit the money on it. He hit it right on the. He hit the nail right on the head. I was thinking the same thing E was saying. I think, getting guys like Reader and Davis or experience went to the Super Bowl, and I think that's what we need. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily a difference maker like you said. Well,
no, we need you to play well.
No, we need
you to play well because Carlton been struggling ever since that Super Bowl run. He fell off. Sean Murphy Bunting fell off. Antoine Winfield fell off for a couple years. Devin White fell off. So he got a lot to prove too.
Yeah, but I want and Reader went to Super Bowl. I want guys that done been there though. You know what I'm saying? Like them guys have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I want guys that's been there and say, hey, get Zeitler been in a winning locker room. You know what I'm saying? With Raven. I don't know. Did he win? No, he never won. I don't think he ever won Super Bowl. 34 years old. No, he never won. But what I'm saying is, Walt, these the kind of culture guys that you need. You hear the term culture all the time. I think, you're not talking to guys that's only on like a Damian Woody sign a big contract and knowing he ain't got no business being here. Jamie Collins, no business being in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't care about, playing here in Detroit. But now you can look to an Anzalone who's been here a couple. You can look to a Taylor Decker. You can look to, guys on each level of this team. And now them the kind of guys you bring your locker room. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a correlation with Davenport and Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell. They know him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they feel like I don't I don't feel that way, but maybe they do. They might feel they can resurrect him. I'm sorry. We got to pick somebody to pick on all year. I think my guy will be Marcus Davenport, but it was Will Harris. Will Harris gone now, so we got to pick somebody else. It was the Core brothers last year, but
Yeah.
Yeah, and Trey Fly another, but yeah, under the last, Trey Fly, and I said that it's finally feel that kid like me. I finally feel like it's kind of Trey Flowers all over again. But I hope he prove me wrong. I hope he give me the biggest middle finger ever. You know what I'm saying? And go out there and get 10 sacks. But we'll see. You know what I mean?
Marcus Davenport.
Yeah, and well, like you said, Graham Glasgow don't move the needle. But hey, we know what Graham can do. We know what
Now
he
I'm
is.
glad he back. I'm glad he back.
Yeah, I'm glad. I like Graham Glasgow. I mean, I think, remember, and Dan Campbell has always said, we know what we are. You know what I'm saying? He's always preached that to his team since he's been here. And I think that like blue collar mentality, it works with these guys, man. But only thing I can say is this: you still have to get that difference maker. So I think, I don't know where we going in the draft. Well, if you had to place a bet, right? If you had to place a bet, what is your bet, Walt? What side of the ball? Not necessarily position. I don't want to say that's going to be too hard, but that's like picking a damn lotto or something. Like what Brad Holmes is going to do in this draft. Like what's Brad going to go in the draft? If we stay at 29.
Man, listen. It was 2 years ago. We didn't see J-Mo coming. We didn't see Jameer coming. The trade back for Jameer. We didn't see Sam Laporta coming at the top of the second round. Remember, prior to that draft, last year's draft, we was talking about how many targets James Mitchell was going to get and how much better James was going to be this season. And it didn't happen. Now, no one saw Sam Laporta hitting the ground running and being as great as he was as a rookie. But just honestly, I don't know, bro. I don't know. When I look at it from this angle right now, if they stayed at 29, I think it has to be best player available because sitting at 29, you have zero damn idea what's going to transpire in front of you. Now, do I believe that they have a list of players, probably a good 10 to 15 players that they expect to be there in that 20 to 29 range? Sure. I'm not sure that this team is willing to move all the way up into like the top 10 to get somebody, top 12 for that matter. It'll be a lot less expensive if you trade up with Minnesota at 23, or because they've already done business with Minnesota, or you want to trade up with Pittsburgh, or you want to trade up with somebody. It's a lot feasible and cheaper and sensible to go from 29 to 23 than it is to go from 29 to 11 or 29 to 12.
Yeah.
But I mean, just saying there, seeing where they're at right now, it has to be best available player because those receivers are going to be gone by 29.
Yeah, man.
Harrison Jr. is going to be gone. Malik Neighbors is going to be gone. Roma Dunze is going to be gone. The other guy that Brian Thomas, whose name has caught fire over the last couple
I
weeks.
like Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah,
I don't think he's the second best receiver in the draft the way Chris Sims does, but yeah, I think. But if you wait to 29, all the elite receivers are going to be gone because once those top three guys go, Neighbors, Harrison Jr., and Odunze, it's going to be a run on the next two or three.
Yeah, you're right.
So sitting at 29, is it a receiver? I seriously doubt it. Tackle, no. Corner, very possible. I think it's weird because I see three positions: corner, edge rusher. I don't think they take a D tackle either. I think it's gonna be corner, edge rusher, or wide receiver, depending on who falls.
Man, I wish he's seen it like I see it. Because if we could just stay at 29 and just take the best available on defense, i.e., I think Chris Braswell gonna be there. I think that Ezra Cooper gonna be there. I think that what's the guy? Trice gonna be there. Those three guys right there. That I think you can take any three of those guys.
Trice going through something though. He showed up to the combine looking like a wide receiver. Didn't he lose like 20 pounds?
Yeah.
Just so he could run faster? Yeah, it
Yeah.
was weird, man.
Just
Ken
like
got
Roy
a
at the
comment
big.
too.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
guy Roy just said, I really like. I like Adonai Mitchell too. I really do, man. A receiver from from Texas. I said,
Yeah.
yeah, I like Adonis Mitchell too. Yep. And this is, you know what though? I think that every position. I don't think nothing's off the board. That's what I like about it. Just like last year, I think it's the same spot. I think do Brad trade up?
I think so.
To get one of those guys. Because I think if he trades up, I don't even know if it's.
I don't think they trade up for a guard though. Like it would be kind of like you don't really trade up for guards, especially not in the first round. Because Ken made a point, and I agree with this to a certain extent. I'm thinking we will take an offensive lineman, Ragnow and Decker, along with the new signing of Zeitler. We need younger depth. Tremendously right. We was talking about this in the pre-show. I just don't, and we've all heard this. This man wants cornerstone players. Look at his history of his first 3 drafts. Penei Sewell, number 1 player coming out of high school, viewed as a generational prospect. Youngest player in his draft 3 years ago when he came out. We took him in the first round, number 7 overall. Cornerstone player. Even though people may not consider a left tackle as a splash, Penei Sewell was considered a splash prospect from when he came out of high school. Jahmyr Gibbs, splash. Sam Laporta, splash. Jameson Williams, splash. So this man has made sure he wants cornerstone players in the first round. This man wants juice, and I just can't see him giving up draft capital to move up to get a guard. Now, if one of the top guys falls, let's say these quarterbacks start going in some crazy run, and the receivers going some crazy run, and you got tackles that come off the board, and maybe a running back gets doused in there a little bit. It's possible, but this man has said twice, this draft is about cornerstone players. Cornerstone players are high-level elite players. Now, if he's trading up for the number 1 guard, the number 1 interior offensive lineman, does he trade up for Jackson Powers Johnson?
Yeah.
Possible. I just think that this defense still has too many needs, man. As much as I've hammered down the process of having to keep the offensive line together, I think this offensive line is fine. We can add some more players. We've talked about how deep this draft is at the guard position. Yeah. These guards aren't going to fly off the board that quick. I still think the first round, especially for a team that's trying to get over that hump, that has the needs that we still have. Yeah. I still think edge rusher and corner are more important than the guard right now. Yeah, we can get high-level guard play in top guards. We talked about Cooper Beebe. We talked about Zach, even though he's a center.
Zach Frazier.
Yeah, Zach Frazier from West Virginia. We talked about Christian Mahogany from
Boston College. Yeah.
Boston College. Chris Haynes.
Chris Haynes. Yeah.
Chris Haynes from UConn.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all guys that if you want to trade up, let's say in the second round, you want to trade up. You got 2 6th-round picks. You got picks next year. You can move up and get one of these guys mid-second round, maybe early third. Yeah,
early third round.
Yeah, first round pick, man. For me, I'm thinking about a splash player. I'm thinking about somebody that can directly affect wins and losses. And for a team that was so bad at completely getting home, it's not the pressure. We made pressure. We got hurries out there. We got QB hits. We need guys that can close games. And that's why I think about guys like Dallas Turner from Alabama, Chris Braswell, who will be there towards the end of the first round, even Braden Fisk
from Florida State.
A guy who can provide interior pass rush, a freak athlete, somebody that can be a difference maker on this defense. I think that they've invested so much money on the offensive side of the football the past 3 years. It's time to get your boy. Even though we all believe Branch is going to be dynamite his second year, Jack Campbell's going to be 10 times better in his second year. Can we please get this man some more talent on defense, bro.
Yeah.
This
Give me
this this
edge.
ain't enough, bro. This ain't
Give me.
enough.
Let's start the Edgerrin Cooper train, man. I'm telling y'all,
Do you think they'll know what to do with Edgerrin Cooper?
man, dude, Edgerrin Cooper is a damn dude. He a pterodactyl out there. He kill people, man. I like him. Different from Jack Campbell. He different kind of guy. I think he a
No,
playmaker.
yeah, I get it.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Now Jeremy Wright. Now Jeremy on something with receiver. I think Orlando mentioned it. I think, man. Okay, I always go in the draft. What is the deepest position in each draft, and I look and receiver, dude. It's a probably 12 receivers you can get within the first 2 or 3. And I agree with Orlando. I agree with Jeremy a lot. I do because I think that receiver is on the table, man. And I think we named them all. I think like Xavier Liggett to me. I think he's the next Tyreek Hill. I'm telling you that I see it. You know what I'm saying? He just got good with the right. Malachi Corley, we just said Javon Baker. Other than the neighbor, I'm not going to name those guys because you already did.
Well, I'm glad you
The
just brought that up because those are guys who we talk about how Brad Holmes finds gems late.
Yeah.
Do we necessarily have to take a wide receiver at 29 where when we have me and you alone have about 7 or 8 receivers who we all feel like could be big time difference makers? I was watching Chris Sims' podcast earlier today, Chris Sims Unbuttoned, and he was breaking down the wide receiver group, but he said the same thing we were saying, that after you get past like the first 4 guys, there's about 5 or 6 guys after that who could be 70, 80, 90 catch guys in the league next year. So do we necessarily need to reach at 29 when we could possibly get a guy in the 3rd round who could come in and help us?
Yeah, just like Lamar said, just like Avery said. I mean, Xavier Liggett's my guy right now. Xavier Worthy, I just don't think. Remember, we talked about where I don't think he fit with the Lions. I think with Jameson Williams, it's already like
they don't know
right
how to
now,
use
we
JMO,
don't
so
know
how
what
in the hell would they use him? It's weird.
That's not going to work. And I know we picked Worthy in our last mock draft. That was a bonehead pick by me because if you think about it, Worthy and Jameson Williams would never work on this team. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't work.
They'll work with the Dolphins.
Yeah, hell yeah.
They'll work with the Miami Dolphins for sure.
But I think it's got like I'm gonna tell y'all that if I had to pick 5 guys, Liggett, Brian Thomas, even though I think Brian Thomas is gonna go before that, but I'm gonna say Brian Thomas. What's the kid from Washington?
Jalen McMillan or Jalen Polk.
Jalen Polk, him.
Yeah.
What's the other guy? I can't think of the top of my head now. I had it in my head. I can't think of it. Anyway, I didn't take no notes. But yeah, them 3 guys right there, when I think about it, I'm gonna say who I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, this is a really deep class, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think that when those cornerstone players start going on the draft, you're gonna see. I think quarterback's gonna be. Remember, we said that. And I think one of those defensive guys is gonna fall to the Lions. Think about it. JJ McCarthy's climbing up the boards now, right? So somebody already, Minnesota's already saying what, and maybe we've heard that JJ could go to the Giants. We heard he could go to
he could
to
be
Minnesota.
a Raider.
So somebody
he could go to Tampa later on the first. Yeah.
Right. 2 or 3 players, defensive guys that's pegged to go high, they gonna fall. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody but well as me, everybody falls in love with the quarterback, man. And Bo Nix is gonna be out there. He might be the 5th or 6th QB out. Not Bo Penix. Somebody's gonna draft those, and they might get overdraft because I don't think maybe Bo Nix is a 1st round pick. I think he's a little bit better when people give him credit for, but maybe he's a second round pick at best. But somebody gonna get stupid and go up and pick Bo Nix at 18 or something. You know what I'm saying? When he's like not even 18, but maybe because all the quarterbacks are going, maybe somebody, jump up there and get him. So if you the Lions, that's what you hope for, that somebody just gets stupid and just start just like trading up and the guy that's supposed to go, and then you know what I'm saying, come fall to us. You know what I'm saying? Unless we get creative. And I said this. You know what I'm saying? Well, we only need 3 or 4
Right.
guys. Yeah, Latu.
like
What is his name?
like
Latu.
Layatu Latu.
Yeah,
Called
Latu.
funny
Latu.
name. You know what? It's weird, man, because I can't remember seeing an NFL draft like this where the edge rushing class been so quiet. Like people, it's kind of like the gyms around the league are keeping kind of hush hush on the edge rushers. I mean, we all know how great Layatu Latu was the past couple years at UCLA.
Yeah.
Dallas Turner been damn good the last 2-3 years. Chris Braswell, even though Braswell's terrible against the run, you still got a guy that can get after the quarterback the way he can. And
we don't need that. We got run stoppers. We need somebody to get to the quarterback, bro. That's number one. You know what I mean? So, especially we're gonna have Caleb Williams. You know how exhilarating that's gonna be to have Caleb Williams in our division and have a guy that just terrorize him just on our team, dude. That would be like.
Greg Rice made a valid point. It was kind of funny. I laughed about it the other day, but it was true. He brought up Layatu Latu and the neck injury, saying that Layatu Latu comes with his own set of medical records. That's right up Brad Holmes' alley.
Yeah, that's true. He may take it too. That's right. And you know what I'm saying? Because Caleb, think about it. Caleb Williams, for everybody that he rubbed the wrong way, including me, it really took me off, man, if he was to come in our division and just start like
let's be honest, man.
Running stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Caleb's a damn good player, bro. I think a lot of this hate that Caleb Williams gets comes because people don't like his personality. Yeah. My thing is, fuck his personality. Like, if we just focusing on the field, Caleb is still the best quarterback in this class. He's the most physically gifted quarterback in this class. But it's like people don't like his personality. So since they don't like his personality, they're trying to trash him as a player. If you look at what he did at Oklahoma, he was tremendous at Oklahoma. He was tremendous at USC, despite the fact that the offense was shit. If you really broke down Lincoln Riley's offense for what it really was, it was kind of shit last year. The offensive line was shit. And with as bad as his offensive line was and his wide receiving core, including Brendan Rice, unable to get open, the dude still only threw 5 picks all season. So to me, looking at him, Caleb, for him to still play at as high of a level as he did last year, then people bring up him not beating teams that teams with a winning record, or it was something about him not beating teams teams ranked in the top 25 or something like that. Let's be real about it.
Yeah.
How in the hell can you blame a quarterback for not beating teams in the top 25 when he's scoring 40 points and his damn defense is giving up 45?
Yeah.
Like, let's use a little common sense here. Like, it's like when people jump on Aaron Rodgers. Well, Aaron Rodgers didn't win anything after he won that first Super Bowl. If you go back and look at Aaron Rodgers' playoff numbers, Aaron Rodgers' playoff numbers were ridiculously great. But what is he supposed to do when he's losing shootouts, 38-35? He's losing 40. Remember that one game against Arizona, that playoff game?
Mm-hmm.
The overtime game where they both scored over 40-something points? So it's like, I think people are kind of unfairly just piling on the dude now.
Yeah, I mean,
some of it is his own fault, though.
Yeah, I ain't naive to the fact that saying he can't play. I think he can play. That's my whole point. I'm saying that it would piss me off if he were to go to the Bears, because the Bears kind of building something nice in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And I think for me, I think that he's going to have to show me, because it's easy to play target practice and score 60 in Lincoln Riley's offense when USC's playing, let's be honest, Oregon State, what is it, Washington State. I don't take nobody in that division other than Oregon seriously.
But
I mean, now that
Dan
is
Lanning, still football, though. Yeah, especially when you have no offensive line.
Yeah, I think Dan Lanning coach of Oregon kind of brought them kind of some respect a little bit because now he a no nonsense kind of coach, and I kind of take Oregon serious now. You know what I'm saying? But everybody else, I don't. I ain't gonna lie. Chip Kelly, I don't take him serious. I don't take Lincoln Riley. Like you said, they gonna score 78 points, but they giving up 65 too. You know what I'm saying? So I
Well,
don't know. I don't
well,
know
if that's
how.
the case, why do people take Penix so serious? And Penix played in the same damn conference. And Penix had what, 3 wide receivers that's gonna go in probably the top 60 picks, and McMillan, Polk, and Roma Dunze.
Yeah. Dylan Johnson and running back, they are damn good. I like
Yeah,
Washington. I like all them guys. I wish we draft Dylan Johnson late in the draft too. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy to me to know that that Caleb Williams gonna be and maybe be in our division and playing him twice a year. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be really good. And I think he's the kind of guy that would kind of take the bait a little bit, like getting baited by to trash the other team, or like, yeah, I'm good, I'm here, we about to win division titles. I'm what I'm saying. I don't know, man. I I'm all for if you can talk, if talk, but you better know how to play, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Like, I
yeah.
always say, if you talk, you better know how to play. That's all I'm saying to him. I mean, I'm not, and he
Yeah,
can. I mean, like you said, he is unquestionably the number one pick. I'm not disputing that at all. I mean, he is a guy you can see physically gifted, can throw off the wrong foot, a back shoulder, throw all the throws. He can do it all. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, his receiver core wasn't hell of over there. He didn't really have a great running. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't think Lincoln Riley even believes in running the football, but so it was just target practice for him. You know what I'm saying? Where he threw a lot and he was able to, uh, make some plays, make some big plays time after time, week after week. I mean, it's just going to be a different look in the pros, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the receivers, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. It's the biggest question mark ever. You know what I'm saying? More so than I think in past years. I think that Caleb Williams, not like you said, the ability is not in question. It's just, is he going to be able? Because remember, if you're the number one pick in the draft, you got to win quick. You can't go 2-15. You know what I'm saying? Because people going to already start to judge you real quick. So it's a lot that comes with that number
I.
one pick over.
It's just it's weird, man. But I mean, we see this show every year when it comes to the draft. It still surprises me, if you look at Caleb, because as fans, as the media, as scouts, I think we make up excuses for players we want to. Like, when you look at the Caleb Williams film, a lot of times people will say, well, he bailed on the pocket too soon. He plays off schedule too much. Go back and watch the situations he was in with that offensive line. It ain't like the dude, people make it out like this dude was hiking the ball and just saying, hey, off schedule. It's hard to stay on schedule when your interior offensive line can't block for shit. And you're constantly getting pressure off the edge as well. So if you look at people talk about the splash plays, too much splash plays.
Yeah.
I'm glad he could make those splash plays. Look at the situation he was in.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said, it comes across to me as just piling on. Because anybody with 2 eyes can see the dude can play football.
Yeah.
But, when
Sure.
people don't like you, it becomes you also a shit football player too.
Yeah.
Like
I
like
fall in the
Drake May.
category.
Like
Yeah.
I've been saying about Drake May. It's like, and I was talking about this on Facebook earlier. There's no way you can watch film on this dude. Screw highlights. I think people go to YouTube and see YouTube highlights and think that tells them everything they should know about a damn player. Forget these YouTube highlights. There's plenty of pages that you can go where people actually break this film down. If you don't want to do it yourself, or you don't have access to film, there's people, capable people, NFL people who will break this film down and let you know what you should be looking at. And I said this shit last offseason. There's no way in hell that Drake May is a first-round pick, let alone the number 2 overall pick. But since people have been told Drake May is the second best quarterback in this class since last June, and Drake May fits the tall 6'4", 6'5", white, statuesque quarterback with the big arm, People just don't want to let it go. I watched Tim Hasselbeck. Tim Hasselbeck said that Drake May is the best quarterback in his draft, period. Over Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, and there's nothing about this film that actually shows that.
Yeah.
And it just bothers me because it gets to a point in the draft process where people just start talking out the side of their necks. So it's like, okay, you look at Caleb Williams. Well, we don't like Caleb Williams, so screw him as a player too. He's a piece of shit player. Like that's not the case. Like you just don't like his personality. Let's be honest about it. Yes, be honest about it. But we can get off the quarterback position because I'm pretty sure a quarterback is not a spot that they take in. It would shock the hell out of me if they moved up and drafted Caleb Williams.
Oh, they took Jaden Daniels.
Oh man, boy.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels to the Detroit Lions. Half this fan base will have a collective stroke, boy. They bring another black quarterback into this town.
Michael Penix Jr. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Yeah, but you're right. You know, for me, like I said, only thing I can say just when you talk, man, when you like talk to yourself in the third person, it just rubbed me the wrong way. That's all I'm saying. I'll be like, man, whatever. That's how I feel about it. But I'm not saying he sucks. You know what I'm saying? I would never say that. But you know what I mean? But I guess, listen, you your biggest cheerleader in life. You know what I'm saying? As a person and whatever you do, you know, all the listeners, everybody, you know, if you don't pump yourself, if you don't say like, hey, I'm the ish. Period. You know what I'm saying? I guess ain't nobody else gonna say it, so I guess you gotta say it, right? You know what I mean? So
people want you to be humble. Fans want you to be humble until they want you to be dynamite.
Yeah.
It's like
we talking football though. Yeah. I get what you're saying. We talking football. I mean, of course, I try to pattern myself being humble all the time, but football is a different language sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I think that being let's be honest, people want more out of you, man. Like on the field, they want like LeBron James, like the infamous shut up and dribble type. You know what I mean? That's how they feel sometimes. And I think, yeah, you could always pat yourself on the back, but I think it's levels to it. And I think that, people got a problem with it, man. If you say, yeah, I think I'm the best player in this draft, or you could say it in one way, or saying it like, yeah, I'm not going to X, Y, and Z team, or if they draft me, don't even think like Deion. Remember he told Detroit, y'all put me on layaway. Y'all can't even afford me, bro. You know what I mean? That type, you know what I'm saying? Even though that was damn near 30, 40 years ago, but I mean, he had the swag back then. So I just think that people automatically, like you said, judge players, and you're absolutely right by what they say. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's not fair. Sometimes we don't hear the question that's leading up to that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people, the media try to bait players into saying certain things. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They don't show the question that was asked before that when he was like, yeah, the organization ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? But he did. The other question that led up to that wasn't viewed. You know what I'm saying? So people don't know sometimes. So yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? And then, getting back to the free agent pool as a whole, I think right now you could say I think the Lions may be done. You know what I'm saying? I think the Lions could be done. Oh, what's up? What's up, Avery?
What's up, man?
I think that I think that the Lions could be done now. I mean, I think that until the draft, you know what I'm saying? We know they always add somebody after training camp, preseason. Remember Isaiah Buggs? They brought him in late. You know what I'm saying? Last year, what was it? Benito Jones, like you said, Walt. So it's always, time to get players at certain times. But right now, what they've done to this point, I mean, I'm not gonna, because like you said too, you're not gonna be able to get like premier players on free agency. That's not how it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You shopping at when you click on, you go to Nike, you go to Adidas website, and they got shoes $100 or less or something like that. That's what you're getting. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting, you want a good pair of J's, you got to pay for them. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get the ones that's outdated and stuff like that. So that's why I think that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to be honest, I mean that's
I
not a
mean,
slight.
well, fans also figure that. Well, like I said, Danielle Hunter signed for this. Why didn't Campbell go after? I mean, why did Holmes go after him? Maybe he did. Like when it comes to free agency, just because you throw money at somebody don't mean they have to come sign to your team. Yeah. Some dudes have their minds made up. I want to play closer to my family and my kids. Or I want to be closer to my mother. She's not doing too well. Or I just want to go back home, period. Or I want to play in Florida because of the no state taxes. Like there's a lot more that plays into these players signing with these teams other than just, but we're the Lions. We're building something quality. Why they don't want to come here? Like that's not always the case. And it's not always a slap in the face. Look, Danielle Hunter turned down more money to go to about 3 or 4 different other places. He chose to go home and be in Texas. That's where that man wanted to be. So, Avery, man, what's going on, bro? What you think about the signings?
Oh man. If Ross had a store in Michigan, all of them players would be there. But they got the family dollar tree. They got the family tree. But I think all jokes aside, I had to take a step back that third day and really look at the strategy, right? And the strategy was like, I want to utilize veteran help in my secondary, and I want to get veteran players in to mix it up with the young guys. And everybody we got, no matter what creed, color, belief, they all came from either productive situations or a productive grouping, right? So we got a cornerback from the we got guys who've been in playoff scenarios like Reader and Super Bowl scenarios like Reader. So you're bringing in guys who've been to that promised land, and they're going to mix it up with the young guys. The secondary, by far, is the most scariest thing. But when you get a better version of Jerry Jacobs, I guess you've done well. I don't think Carlton Davis is the number 1 corner. I really don't believe in him. And when you compare his stats side by side with Jerry Jacobs, he was worse statistically. But there is a edge that he has. He was forced into positions where he had to guard the number 1, and he had to be this guy that he wasn't. And sometimes he showed up. So I think bringing those veteran guys in, having some continuity is what they wanted to do. Now, I really like the Zeitler signing, but when I found out Zeitler was 34 going on 35, I was like, Brad Holmes did it again. He brought in another boys, all right.
Yeah, but you already know how these guards are, man. Zeitler might play another 3 years.
Yeah, that's true. Zeitler might play another 3 years, but
it doesn't solve anything long term, though.
Yeah, for me, there's an issue with I have a distinct issue with Brad in regards to the tape measure effect. I don't know how he's measuring these guys, but when he see a guy on a discount, he's gonna get him. I don't know. He's not gonna look at it. This guy's 35. He's gonna look at, he could be a guy that's professional that's gonna teach the young guy I'm gonna draft. It's almost like a double. It's like a double reason. It's like you're bringing in leadership, experience, and grit. It's like, no, I need a winner. But I just feel like Brad is doing the strategy, man, and you got to say it works for him. It works for him. He doesn't like to spend a lot of money, and when he does spend a lot of money, he's gonna get 6 people in here. And right now, I think he's at 5. So I can give it a B-, maybe a C+. I think that you got some continuity. You got some guys that played in big games. Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely got better. I think as long as DJ Reader's healthy, he is an upgrade over Benito Jones for damn sure. He's an upgrade over
Benito
Bugs.
was cool though. Benito was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but DJ's a better player though. As long as he's healthy. Carlton Davis he's a better player than what we had at corner last year. So
Yes.
I think, Amik Robertson,
Oh,
tough, feisty, hard-nosed corner.
yeah.
I'm gonna say this for everybody
Toast.
but I will
But he
say this:
makes big plays.
Carlton
That's
Davis
another
would have
thing.
made that interception. That ball wouldn't have went on Carlton Davis' face.
Yeah.
You talking against
Or Vildor. With Vildor. Carlton Davis would have made that pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still can't get over that. The
Yeah.
ball hit him right in the face mask, dude. Wasn't that Vildor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Vildor. Yeah,
There's some
hell.
people you can't take. Some people you can't take to the revolution. You can't take Bill North to the Super Bowl. You can't take him. He got to win outside.
Yeah, he that was his Jarquiski
man.
Tart moment.
Oh man, that ball
we
hit
ain't
him
heard
right.
from Jaquiski in a minute.
How a ball hit you right?
Nah.
Walt, how a ball? He didn't even have no sun visor on. I can see if you had a damn sun visor on. How can the ball hit you in the face mask, man? I don't get that.
He lost it in the small.
See why you say that? They got me flashbacks now, man.
That's the difference between a drafted player and a UDFA. That play right there.
Yeah, but I think we we got to look at the fact that Tracy Walker's gone. That really had no effect on nothing last year. Your boy only played a few snaps before he missed the rest of the damn regular season. And Chauncey Gardner,
Oh yeah,
he's gone back to Philadelphia. But I told people that last offseason, the man made sure.
He was talk.
Yeah,
But that's the thing.
He
didn't
Remember what he was talking about before he even signed with us. Like, the man's heart was broken that Philadelphia didn't bring him back. He never really wanted to be here in the first damn place.
Right.
Now he put on a good face, which what he was supposed to do. Listen, I'm here in Detroit. We the bad guys. I'm gonna bring y'all this. I'm gonna bring y'all that. That's what he was supposed to do. But the man's heart was in Philadelphia, so he's back where he wanted to be.
I wonder how he deals with himself, knowing that he talks about all that bad shit about, or all that bad stuff. My bad, about the Philadelphia fans. And now he just about to get a chili feed of a chili.
Man, y'all know I was just bullshit.
No, what was even worse was he got Debo by Debo saying, you know what I'm saying, to get mushed how he did in the championship game to talking smack. I mean, I don't want to trash him, but for me, remember I told you, Walt, he's one guy that I'd rather have Melifonwu over him any day of the week right now. I mean, the way he's trending, Melifonwu was trending up in his career.
Safety up for grabs too. Not in the first round. That's one thing that would shock me. They took the number one safety on the board at number 29.
Yeah, it would surprise me. It wouldn't be.
I seen it today, man. These fans will ride with anything Brad Holmes do. If Brad,
they have no discrepancy at all when it comes to
everything. Brad signed a cheese sandwich tomorrow, he's a Brad Holmes guy. The cheese sandwich is gonna play center. I'm just saying, man.
What kind of cheese is it? Save-A-Lot cheese. It's got green. I was telling somebody earlier today, man. Like, if this man went out and signed Ray Caruth, y'all will figure out a way to polish up Ray Caruth. Well, he's really bounced back from that murder shit. I think Ray Caruth is a good apple now. He's really turned the corner, and he's a bargain. He's a depth guy.
I mean, you got to be smart too, but you got to be. Well, only thing I can say about this, let me defend Brad a little bit.
Blood.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna defend.
Let's stop before we go too deep and just say something horrible.
No, but go ahead. I just think that we need to defend Brad a little bit because I don't think that he's gonna go out there and do anything like stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because I think spending X amount of dollars on a player that's not worth it. He hasn't done that yet, and I think. The only thing that's frustrating with me, like Brian Burns was the guy to get to me. You know what I'm saying? And for what he went for, and it's almost like, dude, you could have sweetened the pot. You could have, you know what I'm saying? Those are the kind of chances I think as a general manager, I think he's gonna have to do. Like a John Lynch. Remember when they drafted what was a quarterback who could Trey Lance? When they drafted Trey Lance. and it didn't work, and he got off of him real quick. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can make up for making a mistake, in the NFL. You can do that. You know what I mean? So if you draft a guy and he's not very good, you find out he's not very good, you can come off of him. You know what I'm saying? It was a time when you drafted a quarterback and he wasn't any good. And remember, he would cripple your franchise. Remember Joey Harrington was any good, and people would say your next 10 years is setting your franchise back. I'll be damned. Josh Rosen got drafted. They drafted Kyler Murray right back. You know what I'm saying? They made up for it. I don't think it's like dire straits anymore if you don't pick the right guy. I think you can get rid of that guy real quick, or just come back the next year and draft the next guy. You know what I'm saying? So I think Brad Holmes, to me, he's done a good job. But I think to become – it's hard to say because we as fans – if you want to speak for the fans, they seen us 30 minutes away from the Super Bowl, man. So they've seen, players like Jack Campbell perform. You've seen, like, what was it, 2 years ago, Malcolm Rodriguez was the darling of the draft. Remember, 6th round pick, and he made the team. Everybody loved him. So, that's a Brad Holmes pick. Bringing John Kaminsky, you know what I mean? A guy like him. People love, you know what I'm saying? And it's like he's done more of that than the Tyrell Williams and Perryman. You know what I'm saying? So people see that, and we haven't experienced that. You know what I'm saying? We still can't get over Matt Millen. We just got over that, and Martin Mayhew. And so that's why people ride with him, I think, the way that you have, because we haven't had a competent GM. Let's be honest. Y'all know. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had
but
that. You know what I'm saying?
Some of these people are terrified to have an individual thought too.
Right.
Because I see this on the social media a lot. It's like, especially in these Lions groups, if you have any type of opinion that doesn't align with the masses, before these people give their individual thought, they have to always say, now, before I say this, I'm not bashing Brad. Before I say this, I'm riding with Brad 1,000%. It's like you don't have to doll anything up to have an individual thought. And it's like at this point in time, like, people are terrified to even think individually. Right. Every pick can't be a great pick, man. But I do think that, and I'm gonna ask y'all this, and I was thinking about this earlier. Do you think we see Brian Branch play a little bit more traditional safety this year?
Yeah.
I think Kirby and Melifonwu back there is solid, and then Branch playing that joker position. Now I will answer your question and say, yeah, he could be back there. I could see him back there, but the way I see him flourishing, I see the defensive coordinator probably pushing him into that role, and it not working immediately, and just let him do what he needs to be doing. I see that he could take on that ability, but I think that joker position, that star position, that slot blitz, that you don't mess up a good thing. And I think that he was, one of our more solid corners down the stretch when it came to good receivers. Everybody had a bad game against the Chargers, but I would love for Melifonwu to be back there as a safety, and then you have Kirby Joseph, you have Melifonwu, Joseph, because we still got the other Joseph.
Yeah, Brandon Joseph. Yeah,
that still had 5 picks before the year before he came out for the draft, and didn't get drafted. But I think that I think that's a good thing to look at, and that's why I watch your show, and that's why I watch your channel, and y'all out here, y'all the only two that I haven't heard. Y'all, everybody with that groupthink comment you said, everybody and their mama is slandering the left guard that left. Everybody and their mama said, yeah, I know he was a good player, but he wasn't good last year. He has 2 Pro Bowls.
Man, listen, I saw people talking about how same thing you were saying. Oh, he's this, he ain't. People said it all last season and this prior season.
All the time.
He's this, he's that. Oh, as soon as he left, traitor. Like, how was he a traitor when y'all said he was trash and you didn't want to bring him back?
Yeah.
But if Jonah would have came back for $26 in a new PlayStation, they'd have been like, "Oh, Jonah, what a bargain! What a team guy!" Like, Stop calling these dudes traitors for leaving after you said they weren't no good. It's like it reminds me of when Pistons fans were just constantly hammering Andre Drummond about how terrible Drummond was, and we need to get him out of town. But once they got Drummond out of town, wait, we didn't get a first round pick for him. Why did you expect to get a first round pick for a guy that y'all said was a bum?
Yeah, and and to piggyback on what Avery said, I was never in a discussion. I was never. Jonah Jackson was good as gone in my book, just because I knew he was going to get paid. You know what I'm saying? I just think that he's way too productive not to be like a top, 7 or 8 lineman in the league. You know what I'm saying? That proof is in the pudding on that one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what, remember I said that's what we said, the draft, the first round or whatever pick we have, if we trade or stay, that's paramount, bro. Because I think remember, I said we can kick rocks on this whole season if that offensive line, we know Jared Goff gotta have an offensive line with experience. It's not gonna work, bro, unless I
like Powers a lot.
Yeah. Power.
Yeah, I think he'll fit.
Yeah, bro,
that boy ain't gonna be there at 29.
Yeah,
though.
I don't
like
know,
we was talking about that before the show started. Like the Dolphins.
Somebody might get stupid. Well, y'all know the quarterback gonna start going. Somebody gonna come in that top 15, 6. Jared Verse gonna drop. Power's gonna drop. Dude, it's gonna be a plethora of guys there. I think it's gonna be more than 2 choices. I believe if we stay where we're at, unless we trade up. That's a whole other different discussion. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Jonah Jackson was a guy you knew he was gonna be gone. So for me, I'm like, Zeitler is a guy, he can fill the role for a year. You know what I'm saying? But man, don't be like thinking that's the answer the next couple of years. You know what I'm saying? You do have to kind of draft another guy too. So
we might get 2 because Ragnar still, Ragnar retiring, but Ragnar got to take, those low management breaks.
He getting this Kawhi Leonard on.
Yeah.
Kawhi Ragnar. Yeah. So Avery, what do you think about number 29 now, considering the moves that this team made in free agency last week?
Well, I think those moves is crucial, man. But I also think that he's keeping, and I've seen this behavior from him and the brain trust over there for a long time. It's a cluster, right? They stick to multiple players they really like, and they just let the chips fall. And I think they're being as flexible as possible. They're filling all those classic holes that they have, and they're not depending on that cluster to go their way. They're depending on, look, we got a cluster that we really like. So if we like this defensive end as our best guy and he's there, we'll take him. But if we like this center, he's our best guy, we'll take him. And to mirror that, they said, look, we still have to fill these holes. We can't just allow, guys to fall to us and prey on a whim. So let's get that center. Let's get that defensive end. Let's get that defensive tackle. Let's fill all those needs, and then we could really build a depth and build a bendable tolerance to where that guy doesn't have to come in and start day 1, week 1. And we also, in that mindset, are changing the way we do things. And it's not a gaping hole. You don't know where we could go. Like, it's almost really cerebral what he did. He had 3 problems. He know he needed a corner. He know he needed a defensive tackle. He know he needed defensive end. He know he needed depth. He know he got limited draft picks. He don't have that first round pick. But now he wants to play coy still. He wants to have the ball in his park, and he wants to be as flexible in the draft. So I like him filling the holes with depth and free agency, and then building those superstars up in the draft. He's probably going to trade up and get a superstar he really likes if he sees them falling. And I just really like what he's done. Again, I give it a B- because of the names he brought in. You can't trot in Carlton Davis and tell me he's a number 1, but he's not meant to be a number 1. He's meant to be here to train whoever is going to be the number 1. The Quinyon Mitchells, the guy you like out of Clemson, Nate Wiggins. He's meant to train up those guys, and he did that at every level of the defense. So you got to respect it. With the exception of linebacker, you got to respect it.
Yeah. Facts.
I've been paying attention just because I don't make videos no more. Don't mean I don't be paying attention.
This man said no more.
No more. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But you
No,
know what?
I mean, I agree. Go ahead, Ashanti.
No. I was just gonna say this, man. I think that I think what Brad Holmes has done is just like last year. I think we can't. Avery, I asked you this. I asked Walt, and I don't know if you was listening.
Okay.
If you had to make a bet, like what side, not necessarily a position, but what side of the ball would you take? Just take a guess. At 29, what is your gut telling you? Like offense or defense?
Yeah, if his best defensive end is there, I think he takes him. But if again, I really feel like in my gut feeling, I feel like he's going to take an offensive player or offensive lineman.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's where he wants to be in that position, and that's where he's cool with going. And I think it's cool to go that position too, because you got to keep this line moving. We know this line is not about Goff. It's not about Jameson Williams. This offense is not about none of that. The offense doesn't even revolve around the running backs. We've seen that from Carolina game. We've seen it from San Francisco game. Every game, this offensive line has to be 10 toes down and efficient, and everybody else is just like a piece.
Yeah. Yeah, that's facts. That's fact. And I was I said the same thing. I said I think it's gonna be more. If I had to take a guess, it would be offense. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be the offensive side of the ball. Unless they trade up, I think then we getting the guy that we like our ass can start getting big. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh damn, is it gonna be Jared Verse? Is it gonna be Dallas Turner? You know what I'm saying? I think that could be the case if they trade up.
Yeah.
Because like you said, Walt, I don't see any of the offensive linemen, and name them. I mean, we don't have him in front. I don't think he would do that for offense. Even Jackson Power Johnson, I would move up maybe, I don't think he gets past I think Pittsburgh is 20, I think, off the top of my head. I don't think you'd have to go in the top 20 to get him. So I don't know what the price tag would be, but like for me, Avery, correct me if I'm wrong. This is my theory. I think we could I don't believe that we need to stockpile all 7 draft picks and
that's it.
Sign them to the roster.
That's it. This might be a draft just like the 2012 Detroit Lions draft where they came out with 5 picks.
Yep.
They came out with Cole Breath. They came out with Marshawn LaSure, Mikael LaSure, and
from Illinois.
They came out with 5 picks. And they thought they was ready to go with those 5.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, just give me 4 solid guys, and I think that you good. You can trade up and just give me a Jared Verse. And I'm just naming. Yeah. Let's have some fun. And let's just say, Jared Verse. You trade your 2nd round pick to get him. Okay,
Jared Verse has fallen prey to he's not sexy enough.
Yeah,
and I keep seeing this narrative that he's just gonna give you this. Let's take a look at this guy with the bendable arms, and let's take a look at this 6'7" guy who ran a 4.2. And I see him falling because his production is good, and you know what you're getting because he has a floor. And I don't think people really understand the first round is about let me make the best pick for my franchise. I think they got away from that during the Mahomes era, during the, they got away from that. Let me get a freak of nature and now the Lions are going to benefit. If they get Jared Verse, that's going to be a perfect fit. That's going to be a need. That's going to be the best player available. And I love that he's kind of fallen to people. He's falling out of the conversation. Just like you said earlier, no one wants to talk about the defensive ends in this draft. They want to talk about the quarterback. Yeah. They want to talk about the quarterbacks. Drake May is a first quarterback off the board. I read that today, and I was like, okay. I was like, okay. But yeah. I would love, Ashanti, if your prediction come true, man, I'll start making videos again, man.
Yeah, well, what if I hope it do? Because Avery, we can't have that, man. We can't have you like retiring from videos. We can't have that. That's crazy talk. Well, Walt, what do you think about like Orlando? I was gonna ask you, and he was right on. But what about Terry Arnold? Now, how much do you like? Would you trade up to get Terry Arnold? Okay.
No. The only it's Quinshawn Mitchell and Nate Wiggins.
Okay.
And I'm a little bit I'm
That's
a little
crazy.
bit.
You call out my guys. You been watching?
Yeah, I'm a little bit skeptical of Nate because Nate been beat up a little bit, man. His body type, the only dude that corner I can remember with his body type and his athleticism that relatively stayed healthy was Dominic Rogers-Cromartie.
Oh, okay.
But them rail thin corners that play as fast, as very quick, twitchy, and explosive as he is, them dudes tend to have a lot of injuries. And you see, he got hurt at the damn combine running. He was just running. So, but no, I think Quinshawn Mitchell the truth though.
Yeah, from Toledo.
He checks all the boxes. Like when people were worried that coming from Toledo, he didn't play against anybody. What's he gonna do when you get to the Senior Bowl? He went to the Senior Bowl and he locked dudes up.
I got a problem with you, Wall. You've been stealing my content, man. Everybody knows.
No, man, listen. We think relatively alike. We think relatively alike on a lot of stuff. The guard thing doesn't make sense at 29 because you talking about the top rated guards, and we all don't know. Maybe PFF or all these other places, these outlets have the number 1 rated guard as the 70th rated player in the draft. Brad Holmes might have that guy rated as 17th for all we know. I would hope he wouldn't have one of these guards rated as a 17th overall player, but I just can't see them, not in this draft, taking a damn guard at 29 when there's going to be so many other impact players still on the board. You can trade back and get a guard. Like guys like Cooper Beebe will be there in the second round.
Yeah, what's the other guy?
Christian Mahogany.
TCU, what the other guy? Andrew Coker.
Brandon Coleman? Yeah,
Andrew Coker. He's another guy that you could get too late. Yeah, I like Chris. I think you said Chris Haynes from UConn.
Yeah, Chris Haynes from UConn. Yeah, those aren't guys that I think you take at 29. I think at 29 is either going to be a corner. Well, first of all, let me say this. My prediction is they don't stay at 29. That's it. This man has said he wants cornerstone players.
That's it.
That's what he said. This particular draft, the 4th draft, is about us getting cornerstone players. That doesn't sound like him staying at 29 and reaching for a guard.
He gonna trade up.
That sounds like get me Dallas Turner.
When I seen him get rid of Chase Lucas, I knew he was serious now.
So that was it, huh?
Well, the Lions love corners. The Lions love corners. Oh man. The Lions.
And the 49ers had the nerves to pick him up on some spiteful shit. Y'all take Mosley, we'll take him.
Right.
No, they probably brought him in just to say, now, what do you think about the Vildor play? Do you really think?
So what do you know about the Lions? Type it all out.
What the Lions historically have drafted when they have drafted a cornerback in the last 3-4 years, it's only happened a couple times, but they love people with fluid hips. And I think that now you have the physicality with the fluid hips. So now, and you have the ball skills with most of these corners in this draft. Yeah. So now we can, look, whoever Quinyon Mitchell comes in and he starts over Carlton Davis or starts over Cam Sutton, this was an orchestrated attack because we brought in so many veteran guys just in case he's not there. And then we got rid of these bums, Jerry Jacobs and all these bums. And look, I'm telling you. Oh, we're going to get Worthy. I look at this comment. We're going to get Worthy at 29. Okay.
So we're going to have 2 4-2 guys, and don't neither one of them get the ball downfield.
Right. Yeah. 400 yards of offense out of
those. All these screens and hitches. Let's go.
Yeah. Like I said, remember I said that was a bonehead pick by me because they would never take him. You know what I'm saying? Just because of that scenario, with J-Mo. Now, we didn't have J-Mo maybe, but yeah.
I don't know.
I just take Leggett in the third. Leggett in the second.
Leggett, my guy. Hey, Avery, how you feel? I think Xavier Leggett, bro. He
that's a dude. That's a dude. That's a dude. He can be a real X. If you work with him, he can be an X.
Yeah.
Like that's sad. That's really I seen his pro day and I seen him, a lot of teams messing with me, man. He country and shit. I was like, a lot of teams messing with me, man. They really like my tape. I know.
I'm like, dude, is this him or Jerry Jones talking? But you know what though? I would say about the cornerback position, man. We've always historically drafted the dude who couldn't play. Like we can go all the way back to the early '90s. Like the only two times I remember us taking a corner in the first round was Bryant Westbrook. Was it Terry Fair, who was pretty much a kick returner, and then of course Jeff Okudah. But remember, the year that we had him, the year that we drafted Bryant Westbrook, Seattle took Sean Springs. Was it one pick ahead of him,
Something
or
like
two
that.
picks?
Yeah.
And then the year that we took Jeff Okudah, and then Jacksonville took C.J. Henderson at like 10 or something like that. Who wound up being the best corner in the draft? A.J. Terrell, who Atlanta got at, I think, 22 or 23. So this is a completely different era right here. I suspect they can draft a damn corner. Nobody else could draft a corner from any of those other regimes. But I just don't see them sitting at 29 and just taking whatever falls to them. I don't. I think wide receiver would not surprise me at all. And I was talking to Joe Schapp about this the other day, man. I really think Joe Schapp for this.
Yeah.
If they trade up for a wide receiver, the one dude I think is his type of wide receiver is Malik Neighbors. And I just think this because this dude was in love with Jamar Chase. The year that was it 2 years when they took who did they take instead of
they saw.
Yeah. And the man admitted that if Chase would have fell to them at 7, they had a real tough decision to make because they love Jamar Chase. And who is Malik Neighbors? Like he's a cross between Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
He just, to me, he seems like their type of dude. I just think so. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr., possibly. I brought that up about Steve Smith saying, and Steve Smith, it sounded kind of weird at first, but the more I thought about it, if Marvin Harrison doesn't go to Arizona, because it's still not a given that Harrison's going to be the number one receiver anyway. If Harrison doesn't go to Arizona, we don't know where Harrison could fall to if we start looking at those teams after Arizona. Because I don't think the Giants are going to take a receiver, and if they do, they could surprise us and take somebody else. Could Marvin Harrison Jr. or a Malik Neighbors be that surprise that we all been talking about?
I'm not as high on Marvin. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. got some ability. I mean, I think is he the number? I don't know if the answer. I don't know if he's the number one receiver or not. I don't. I think it. And that's just my. I don't. It ain't spite because I'm from Michigan, Ohio State. I'm not saying it because of that. I believe that this receiver group, man, is really deep and it's really. Yeah, I mean, he's got some highlights. Yeah, he can dive and catch the ball and make difficult catches and good route runner. I get, but I see 6 or 7 other guys too. That's the same. I mean, I don't know, Walt. That's a very tough question. You know what I'm saying? And it's a possibility. I could see him going anywhere from 3 to 10. 15. You know what I'm saying? Depending on if somebody trade up to get him or something like that.
I see the Neighbors thing happening because people are so spiteful that Harrison ain't. I'm not dressing up for y'all, and I'm running in shorts. Y'all seen the film? Y'all seen the tape? This is not no. Look at the pedigree. I got the pedigree. I got the plays. Y'all seen enough. I'm gonna stay at home at Ohio State. I'm not even gonna do a pro day. That's how he know.
Yeah, it's crazy though with him because he's. And I heard Chris Sims say something about him. I think this is where people get it completely misconstrued with these wide receivers. He's not explosive enough. And then he had Brian Thomas at LSU raked ahead of him, which I thought was asinine. And when I look at this,
dog. Come on, man.
Yeah, but he's fast. He's fast. Let's be honest. Bro. People didn't start breaking him up until they saw 6'3", 4'3". Oh, he's ahead of this guy. This dude, listen. You know what this reminds me of? The 2004 draft with Larry Fitzgerald. If you go back to that draft, what did you hear about Larry? There's nothing special about him. He just catches the football. He's plain. He's not explosive.
Yeah.
What was they saying to that draft? Roy Williams has all the physical ability, better than Larry. Reggie Williams, I know y'all remember Reggie Williams went to Washington. Bigger than Larry Fitzgerald, more explosive. Michael Clayton. I know you remember they got drafted by Tampa.
From Notre Dame, right?
Yeah, all of these dudes,
Yeah.
all of these dudes were supposed to have been more athletic than Larry Fitzgerald. They were supposed to be more explosive, and Larry outplayed all of them. Larry had a longer, more productive career than all of them. And I think people get too caught up in explosive and 40 times and stuff. To me, this is just me. Marvin is the best all-around wide receiver in this class. I don't even think it's close. And I love Malik Neighbors. I think Neighbors is a nice too, but I also think Marvin fell victim to what a lot of players fall victim to. When you hang around, well, he didn't hang around college too long. He couldn't leave last year. But when you hang around and people get bored with your greatness,
that's it.
They start finding other people to say that's better than you.
It goes against what I was talking about earlier. The sexy versus good. Yeah. We're gonna go with the sexy versus good. Like verse is good. Harrison.
What the Raiders used to do back in the day. We're gonna take the fast receiver over the receiver that's obviously better.
We're gonna take Michael Crabtree and he didn't run. What?
It's like I don't get it with I don't get it with Marvin. I understand he's not the 70-yard, he's not the Tyreek Hill guy. He doesn't have the flashy 40 time. But look at some of the best receivers in football right now. Some of them are really fast. Tyreek Hill is like astronomically fast, but Devontae Adams not really a fast guy. Justin Jefferson not really a fast guy. Both route gods and catch everything. AJ Brown isn't really fast like that, but he's a man child. So AJ goes
Brian
to
Thomas remind me of a little bit.
AJ
Brian
goes
Thomas
to a different category, but I just it worries me with this because I've seen enough of Brian Thomas to say, you know what, your physical abilities doesn't match what I see on the field. I see a 6'3", 200-pound receiver that runs 4.3 that doesn't play physical at all. Like I see this. I see a dude who, if you go back, you watch the run plays at LSU. When he's not involved in the play, you can tell. You can tell from the way he let off at the line of scrimmage, the way he takes off the line of scrimmage. If the play ain't designed for him, you're going to be able to tell. He ain't that interested in run blocking either. So I just think that people saw the 4.33 at the combine. They saw the 6.3,
and
the 200-yard
catch. 70-yard catch.
Yeah. And it's like
on nobody.
I just think, man, to say he's better, like what your boy Joe said that Tez Walker from Carolina was better than Malik Neighbors. And I'm like, the dude who dropped like 12% of his passes last year?
He didn't say that, did he?
No, it's like, and I don't listen. I don't think Joe would just say something for shock value. But once again, I think some people just like to be the contrarian on stuff. Marvin ain't the best receiver. This guy is. Caleb ain't the best quarterback. This guy is.
See, that's
Panay Sewell ain't the best tackle. Yeah.
When you don't work out, we can't obsess over you. Okay. We're gonna destroy you if you don't work out.
Yeah. See, and I'm with Avery on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel that's how I felt like Caleb Williams kind of rubbed me the wrong way. That's all I'm saying. That was exactly what I'm saying. Just if it's time to work out, just work out, man. You know what I'm saying? That to me, I get it. I get like I'm the star of the show. Y'all come to see me, come to my pro day. I get all that. You know what I'm saying? But man, in certain spots in your career, your professional career, it's like, okay, you gotta kind of show that while all these other hopefuls are in the same position, pool that you are. That's the time to show that you are the best one. Okay, while you got all the 80 other receivers,
these boys ain't concerned with that no more, man. I think they are. I think the players still want to compete. It's the agents that's taking over everything, man. These agents are starting to take over the combine. Like the days of turning on the combine and knowing that you're gonna see every damn body that you wanted to see before them are long gone, bro. I mean, look at it now. Look at college football now. Dudes don't care about the playoffs no more. They don't care about bowl games. Now you got guys not working out at their pro day. At their damn pro day, dudes not working out. Yeah. And like you said, it is kind of like for a guy like Drake May to not throw.
He
Like
know he ain't got no arm. That boy know that's protecting the bag. He got that 2-inch arm. He's 6'4". He went to a bull crap school. You know, the last person to come out of his school was Eric Ebron.
well,
Okay,
Sam
he
Howell
ain't
too.
got nothing going on.
Yeah, saying how.
He ain't
He
got
got horrible
nothing
coaching there
going
too.
on.
And I think it's horrible coaching at Carolina at the quarterback position because Drake May and Sam Howell were both 5-star players coming out of high school that didn't improve at all in North Carolina. That's
Yeah,
why it's
Howard
like,
went from
yeah,
being the first overall pick in that worst QB draft class to being picked in the 5th round, and everybody was obsessed with how Malik dropped. But this dude had the most epic drop I've ever seen.
yeah,
And
it's crazy, man. You know what I think part of the stuff is right now with May too is the fact that, and I noticed this on television, a lot of the people who were anti Josh Allen, anti Justin Herbert, people coming out, those are mainly the people that are just salivating and obsessing and just pounded the table for Drake May so hard. Because I
he
think part of
represents.
it is I
Yeah,
missed the boat on those other two dudes. I ain't gonna miss the boat on Drake.
he also represents what they want to see. They don't want
Yeah.
to see another two of them come off the board. Two of those other type of players. Because like
Your
we
boy
had
Chris
last
Sims
year.
said that last year.
Hey,
It's the
look.
white guy effect.
Yeah, it's they want to see. They don't want to see the two blacks come off the board. I remember back in the day, it used to be the white quarterback and the black quarterback, and they 1 and 2. Who's 1 and 2? And now they ain't got that no more. They got
It's
an
just weird though to watch Drake May film and walk away from that saying he's better than Caleb Williams and he's better than Jay Daniels
and look, man, 20
and
touchdowns
Bo Nix.
first round. Well, Bo Nix is a player. Bo Nix is a player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bo Nix can play.
Improve
He
the ball.
play ball, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wherever he go, he gonna be a
Mhm.
player.
but something's up. How does the guy? We said this about Will Levis last year. How does the guy with the worst film get pushed all the way to the top?
And
Yeah.
when he got pushed for that one game, that 4 touchdowns,
But you know what? You know what though? I think
got pushed.
I don't think May's gonna go as high as the media thinks. I don't think the NFL
Yeah.
values him as much. This the media that's really pushing him
Yeah, that's pushing
so
it.
hard
Yeah.
right now. Look at Will Levis. We before the draft, leading up to the draft, we were
Mm.
told Will Levis was gonna be a top 5 pick, and Will
Yeah.
fell
Yep.
out of the first round.
Remember, we both
Yeah,
said that ain't gonna happen. We knew
yeah.
last year. I was like, hell no, not Will. Now I thought. Now he wound up going second round. Was it third round or second round?
Who Will
Anyway,
Levis? Second
yeah,
round
what
to
second
Tennessee.
round? Yeah, yep, something like that. He was in the 30s, I think, 40s. But yeah, I mean, we didn't fall for that because I remember we both were saying that. But
Hyped up that quarterback class with Malik Williams. They hyped up that Malik is number 2 for the Lions. I'm like, whoa.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
I
remember
never
I
got.
was on Malik Williams. I was wrong about him. I ain't gonna
we both
lie.
was.
Yeah,
I
because I'm like,
Matt Corral too, who turned out to be a raging drunk.
yeah,
uh,
Matt Corral.
And he over in the UFL. Like, but that goes back to what I was saying. How do you name me a black quarterback that would get the benefit of the doubt to be drafted as an alcoholic? Like this dude was at Ole Miss. This dude had issues with drugs and alcohol since high school. Still went to Ole Miss. Still got drafted, despite the fact that there were reports of him not showing up to practice, showing up at practice drunk and this and that. Dude got dismissed. Who the hell drafted? Did Carolina dismiss him from the team
Yeah,
last
it's
year?
Carolina. Yep, they
Yes.
drafted
I,
Matt
I
Corral.
only heard that he had the depression. I didn't know about the drinking. I only
Yeah,
heard he had
he had an alcohol issue too. Yeah, he
that.
had an alcohol issue. Same thing with your boy Stetson Bennett.
Mhm.
Stetson
He got
Bennett.
sent home. He got sent home from the Rams. Issues
Whoa,
with alcohol.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
that's crazy. Stetson.
So Stetson with a name that's so country club.
Hey, so wait a minute. So Stetson, wait, I didn't hear that. So now he off the roster?
Yeah, I think they sent him home. That happened like was it last off season,
Oh
headed into the
yeah.
season, or was it like right at the beginning of the season they sent Stetson home?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't hear that. Wow. Yeah,
Oh, it was
but
cool with Matthew Stafford out.
yeah. I mean, when we get into, like I said, if we, get back on topic a little bit, we talking about, the Lions and, Brad Holmes, as a GM. I mean, if we had to put a bow on this show tonight, well, I mean, we could talk about, the moves and the expectations. I think it's pretty safe to say the three of us, we in agreement that we're not gonna say that it's like I don't know. I mean, I don't even want to say it was impactful. I think out of all, what I'm trying to say is like out of all the guys, I think to me, I'm gonna say the guys that we signed. As much as I think Glasgow is an important piece for the offensive line, I think that DJ Reader is going to be the guy I think that we can see the most production out of. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think that, hopefully Mark and Davenport, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, that's a real to be continued for me. But I mean, I'm not expecting much. But DJ Reader,
we compared it to the Charles Harris signing. They both had damn near parallel roles to Detroit. Both of them were first-round picks that bust, didn't make it with their original teams, didn't make it past the first contract. Charles Harris went to Atlanta for 1 year, then came here. Marcus Davenport went to Minnesota for 1 year, then came here.
Right.
So it's like I don't know really what to expect from Davenport because I didn't see much from him in New Orleans. He had I think he had 9 sacks back in 2021. Yeah. But as a Lions fan, you can't hang your hat on that shit. That's like when Lions fans try to hang their hat on, well, Carlton Davis locked up Jamar Chase in a game 2 years ago. Like, that's what you bringing up. One game from 2 years ago is your calling card on how great Carlton Davis is. Yeah. It's crazy. But like I said, I'm with you. I don't think any of these signings just really move the needle towards wins and losses. But we're definitely better. Reader's better in the middle of our defense than what we had last year, for damn sure. Yeah. Carlton Davis is better next to Cam Sutton than Jerry Jacobs was, or Vildor.
Cam Sutton, yeah.
Yeah, so we're better. But you got to ask yourself, what about the rest of the teams in the NFC? Like, do we really, as Lions fans, do we really expect these teams to just stand put and just not improve? And we're going to improve, and nobody else is?
Shanti hit it on the head. We need 4 guys, 4 real studs, and we need them in this draft. We need 4 studs, 4 cornerstones, like you said.
That's good play.
Like Brad said, like 4 guys that are going to be studs. Like Quinyon Mitchell is a stud. Verse is a stud. Those guys are classic. Powers is a stud. You somehow get Quinyon, Verse, and Powers. You've already won.
3 of them.
You've already won.
You've already won, right? You don't need 9 Malcolm Rodriguez's. You don't, man. You don't. You know what I'm saying? You don't. I mean, we got that. We got that. We got Jackson. We got all of that. We don't need that. We need to hit a home run. So, yeah, it's just this draft, like you said, we gonna chronicle it as we lead up to it. You know what I'm saying? The weeks. That week, I love that when we get to the month of April, it's coming, quick, you know what I'm saying? And right now, like we hearing, everybody from JJ McCarthy's going up, and it's like, okay, say what you want about, the quarterbacks and for me, I think a good player is to be had because we just talked about it for 30 minutes about the quarterback position, man. I think people lose their effing mind for quarterbacks.
Oh,
they do. And they do stupid stuff when they come for the draft. Somebody, Avery, Walt, y'all know somebody gonna take Drake May. Somebody gonna take him in the top 10 picks. And whatever, and I'm glad we ain't got to make that decision because I think if it's not the clear cut Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, those top 2 and throw X person in number 3. It's hard, man. It's hard to get a quarterback. I think that's why all these keep trying to do it because it's hard to do. Look at Anthony Richardson. Looks like he could be a player. Somebody mentioned him in the comments. So,
yeah,
you can mess up and not pick the right guy. And I think that, in years past, like I said, it usually crippled the franchise. But now you can come off these players quick, man. If it's not the guy, you just get the next one. It's just
Well,
you
look
you
at
can
CJ Stroud. I think
yeah.
that ruined it for a lot of people because now everybody's searching for their CJ Stroud. We
Mhm.
could have had CJ Stroud last year.
Yeah. Yep. And that was my
You know,
guy. I was like, dude, Stroud is a guy. You don't even need him right now, but man, you take dude. That's how I felt last year. But it wasn't the the right pick. So whatever.
well, they would have stunted his growth here anyway. He wouldn't have
And they
played
would,
here.
Mhm.
yeah, it was said that he's taking time. 6 years from now, he'll be ready. 6 years from now.
Yeah.
we're being patient with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Saying stupid stuff. They can't really have they can't really have a franchise quarterback here. They have to have a piece. They move around. You know what I'm saying? Like they barely want to pay Amon Ra. He
Yeah.
a star on the team. They barely want to pay him.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
Jared Goff ain't getting that money.
and it's almost like you know you kind of waiting for that. Like you wait for for them to announce, okay, St. Brown is getting X amount. You know what I'm saying? And I think Orlando just said it. And then they haven't done it yet. That's what it is kind of weird a little bit how they haven't really come to the table. Maybe they are, and they haven't came out with it yet. But you
But
haven't heard much. Mhm.
but so with that being said, having to pay St. Brown, hopefully Jameson plays so dynamite next season. You gotta talk about paying him. Y'all think they'll invest another first round pick as far as that money in another wide receiver?
This year?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yep. I think at some point they going in the first
I mean, you
three or
can't keep
four.
you can't pay everybody. You're gonna have to pay Laporta in another 2 years. More than likely, you're gonna have to tear his deal up. St. Brown, you're gonna pay Golf, you're gonna pay Jameer Gibbs another couple years.
Not
Panay
necessarily.
Sewell,
Not
Panay
necessarily. Like
Sewell.
somebody, right? You don't know for sure. You keep Sewell and you keep St. Brown and you keep Hutch. And then after that, bro, I don't know, man. I didn't even mention the quarterback at this point. Dude, I,
He a
I'm
piece
just
too.
saying,
He know he a piece.
what I
Yeah.
mean, bro. You can't. You're right. You can't pay everybody, and I don't even know if you pay Gibbs yet. I mean, and you know me, I'm a Gibbs guy. That's my guy, and it's like you gotta wait, man. You gotta wait on that. You know what I'm saying? That's another. That's
It's a great
eternity
problem to have, though.
to that. Yeah.
It's a great problem to have. If J-Mo turns out to be Alabama J-Mo, you gonna pay that J-Mo. You gonna pay it. You have no choice to.
Not these bums. They gonna pay him a 5th-round option.
Yeah.
You gonna lowball the J-Mo go out there and get 14 touchdowns next season. You gonna lowball him?
Yeah, Brad Holmes. He got that cheese sandwich. He got some granola. I got a dollar for you. I got the lunch money.
I got this
You go
Wi-Fi code for you. Hey,
I ain't gonna get you the ball. I got to distribute the football, and I'm in this helmet every game. I'm in this helmet. Don't throw the JMO unless we
you know
need to
what I
win
think
that
happened
bad.
with J-Mo though? I think they expected J-Mo when he came back to kind of hit the ground running a little bit more than he did. And they
Yeah,
kind of viewed it as, since it didn't happen, okay, this dude's going to take him longer to get acclimated. We're going to take this
yeah.
tight end. Oh, shit, this tight end turned out to be a stud. Oh, this fourth round wide receiver turned out to be a stud. Oh, this Gibbs guy turned out to be a stud. So now JMO, I think, somebody brought this up about JMO being stuck in a bad situation where he's now like the fourth option on a team that's all
Yeah,
about
yeah.
sharing the
That
football.
was Ashanti. I remember
Yeah.
Ashanti told me he was like he wasn't starting in those plays. Like he was the 4th option on a lot of those plays. He the
Yeah.
last option.
It's like it's
And
not good for his career. JMO
yeah.
could if JMO was somewhere else where he was like a top priority. Now you're talking about JMO being a 12, 13 touchdown guy. JMO splitting snaps. Listen, St. Brown and Laporta are the top 2 pass options for Jared Goff. St.
Yeah,
Brown and Laporta. Then you're talking about Gibbs out of the backfield. So now you're talking about JMO is like what the fourth option?
and he told reporters. That's why he showed me. He showed me the clip, or he talked about it. Like this was like December. Like yeah, He's a lot of them plays. He's the last option. I'm like, damn.
Dude, Anthony Edwards just dunked on John. Oh my God, dude! And
John Comiskey?
No, John Collins should retire. John Collins for the Jazz.
Play?
Dude.
Yeah, John still playing.
Everybody see
the John Collins.
Yeah,
John
from
Collins?
Atlanta Hawks, John.
Nah.
Yeah, dude.
They gave him a team.
Anthony Edwards just dunked on him so hard.
Not
dude,
that John Collins. He talking about John Collins that played for that went to Wake Forest, the Duncan John Collins.
Yeah, that's who he talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, played for the Atlanta Hawks.
No, that John Collins ain't this.
I don't know.
Collins. He talking about the other Collins. He talking about the twin Collins. He
talking about Atlanta Hawks John Collins. That's who he talking about.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about the Collins brother from Stanford. I know he a little.
Collins, Jaron Collins.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I just wanted to come out and say, I'm like, what?
Anthony Edwards is damn. Anthony Edwards, bro, he a damn animal, dude. That boy right there.
Yeah, it's all politics though. The NBA had never supported him because he play in Minnesota.
Yeah, that boy, dude. I know we talking football. I had to just wait till y'all see it. Y'all gonna trip out. Him
and Ja are the future.
Oh man, dude.
Ja gotta keep away from them handguns, but he got a Karoof problem.
He gotta keep away from that rap music, man. Put on some LTD, some Frankie Beverly or something, no?
Oh man.
Put on some Kick Puss.
He needs,
some backpack rap.
He need to listen to some like Faith Evans or something. He need to
he needs some J. Cole or somebody.
J. Cole. Man.
Yeah.
Jimmy Cozier.
Say some Jimmy Cozier. Yeah.
But well, before we get out of here, man, we could, like I said, the moral of the story is I think, we could look at our team, Wall, and I think we got expectations now. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. While people can say, "Man, damn it, I want this guy. We didn't get him." You know what I'm saying? And be disappointed. They want to make a splash, but I'm just saying we just like Avery pointed out too. We stay in the course. You know what I'm saying? We stay in the course, and I think that this draft. Remember, Brad Holmes' calling card is the draft. I mean, make no mistake about it. I think his best moves has come from the draft, not necessarily free agency. It's the draft. That's the main, that's the main dish, the main attraction. You know what I'm saying? So as long as, Brad Holmes is our general manager, I think, we can hang our hat on that we are good. He will make, and I think that, somebody pointed out in the comments too, that the draft is in Detroit, and I think that it's gonna be a lot of rumors swirling. Closer we get to it, I think something's gonna break. You know what I mean? It could be a trade up type thing. I think
I think it's gonna be something major for sure. The man has given us excitement the first 3 years, the first three drafts.
There we go. So if I had to end it with that, I would say that, Walt.
Yeah, definitely. Close it out. We look at this first period of free agency, first week. They've definitely improved the football team. I just want fans to understand this ain't it. We still got more free agency. We got trades coming up more than likely throughout the offseason. We got the draft, of course. And, of course, after the draft, we got mini camps. We got training camps. So how this team is currently constructed, don't have heart attacks about it. I think this man has a plan. I think Dan Campbell has a plan. And I think in the first round of this draft, whether we end up with one pick, we might end up with 2 first-round picks. We don't know. But I think for damn sure they're gonna satisfy what we want. I believe so. I think whether it's a big-time X wide receiver or it's a lockdown corner or it's a big-time edge rusher, for Lions fans, I think next month, get ready. It's going to be a ton of excitement. So we'll be on to next week. We'll be touching on probably more free agency unless anything major jumps out. So till next time, thanks to everybody for joining us. One Pride.